2023 was riddled with a ton of game releases, many of which I enjoyed getting my hands on. These include, but are not limited to, Hi-Fi Rush, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Wukong Fallen Dynasty, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and so many more that I still haven't even gotten to check out, like Baldur's Gate 3. We're in 2024 and my gaming backlog is climbing, but that doesn't stop me from telling you about the games that I'm super excited to get my hands on this year. I'm gonna try to clear my backlog, but let's be honest, I'm probably gonna be ignoring it like most other gamers, you know. Now, this list isn't in any type of ranking order as far as which one I'm most excited for to the least. If you want to see something like that, I'll need to put a little more time in it. Let me know down in the comments below. Another side note, not all of these have confirmed release dates, so I'm going to give you my 5 most anticipated and then 5 honorable mentions. Without further ado, let's talk about 10 games that I'd love to get my hands on in 2024. We're starting off with Tekken 8, the latest installment in the well-known and truly beloved fighting franchise, coming out on January 26, 2024 on PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Now, this will be the first Tekken releasing on Unreal Engine 5 as well as the next generation of consoles, and from what I've seen, the game looks beautiful. They're going to be introducing new characters. Hopefully it'll be a pretty captivating story, and they have a free demo out right now that I've not been able to get my hands on, but I do hope to check it out on my live stream at twitch.tv/jfritchian before the game's release. Part of why I want to get my hands on it is that they've introduced a new heat system to change up the combat. You've got this special meter that you fill up and you can use to extend combos and pull off special moves, and it rewards aggression. And if you've seen your boy play fighting games, you know we like to get in with a bob and weave with a da-da-da-da-da. I'm ready just to see how expansive it is and how it can be used to create overwhelming situations against your opponents online. The game will also feature crossplay, which is a plus because now I don't have to necessarily worry about what system I get it on in order to play with friends. While we missed out on a matchup of the big 3 because Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1 released last year, I think Tekken 8 releasing at the top of 2024 will allow it to get as much hype as it possibly can. Next, we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the second installment in a 3-part series of remakes for the classic RPG that released back in the 90s. The game will release exclusively on PS5 February 29, 2024, but it's likely to get a PC port at some point down the line. I say this as someone who got their hands on the PC port while it was on sale on Steam after Black Friday. And you heard that right, I secured it on PC because I actually did not get a chance to play the first Final Fantasy VII Remake installment. The game came out at a time that I didn't have a PlayStation, and then by the time I got my hands on one, so many other games were out, I hadn't had the chance to go back and play. I'm looking to stream the first game this month, so that way I am caught up by the time this game releases in February. One thing I like about the Final Fantasy series is how captivating the visuals have become. I enjoy that the remake has gone to this combination of real-time action with strategy and RPG elements. And apparently there are a few changes and slight additions as far as the story goes, so I'm excited to see what fresh and new perspective that Square Enix will be bringing. Just hoping that playing part 1 and then part 2 back to back doesn't give me Final Fantasy burnout. In March, we have the release of Rise of the Ronin from Team Ninja. And now that I'm making this video, I'm realizing we have plenty of back-to-back releases, at least to start out the year. Now, this game looks familiar. That's because Team Ninja is the same developers as the title I mentioned earlier with Wukong Fallen Dynasty. They also brought us Neo as well as Ninja Gaiden. And so we've seen this Souls-like genre be taken up by them in the past. The story is set to be an epic journey across a war-torn 19th century Japan. If you watched me before, you know that I love anime, so Japanese samurai setting, I'm sold just off that. What makes this game stand out against Wukong is that I feel like there's going to be a better semblance of a traversal system. We haven't seen a ton of the game, but from the clips that I've just shown you, you see him using this wooden flying machine. I'm hoping that that's something that's a part of the core gameplay loop. Other than that, the other draw is that the Souls games provide a challenge. Apparently this one will actually have difficulty settings, so if you catch your boy playing on medium, mind your business. I'm a sucker for samurai combat, feeling like a ninja, but also I've had a big problem with not finishing my games, and so if I gotta dial the difficulty down to make sure that I get through this one as well as the rest of my backlog, then so be it. Last tidbit is that, interestingly enough, although Wukong launched as a multi-platform and you saw a lot of people get it on PC as well as Xbox due to it being on the Xbox Game Pass, Rise of the Ronin will be launching exclusively on PlayStation 5 March 22nd, 2024. Black Myth Wukong is a game that I've had quiet excitement for that got to be vocal excitement after the recent announcement that it would be coming to America at 2023's Game Awards. This will be another Souls-like action RPG rooted in Chinese mythology instead of Japanese, where we'll be playing as Son Goku. Unlike Rise of the Ronin, rather than going up against people, it looks like we will be going up against large scale threats. Graphically, the game looks appealing. I was thoroughly impressed with the voice acting I heard at the trailer that dropped at the Game Awards as well. I mean, look at that. The combat looks so wavy. It's being developed by Game Science, which is a Chinese developer. I don't know much about them, but I gotta say thank you to them for letting this game be ported over to America, as well as having English dub voice acting. It's also come to my attention while making this video that the game will be based on a classical 16th century Chinese novel, Journey to the West. We'll be playing as a monkey based on Sun Wukong, referred to as the Destined One. And to top it off, the reason this game looks as beautiful as it does is it's also developed on Unreal Engine 5. Black Myth Wukong is going to be releasing August 20th, 2024 on PlayStation, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. So I'll get a little bit of a break between this and the release of Rise of the Ronin. And I'm going to need it because back-to-back Souls games is not a recipe I want to cook up. This last one's kind of a cheat with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. If that name sounds confusing to you with what you're seeing, just understand that for America, this is basically Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Before, when the project was unnamed, that's what everyone on the internet was calling it. But apparently with this title, Bandai Namco trademarked filling in the Japanese title Sparking. And people are saying that the subtitle Zero is to kind of imply that this is embodying the game being an accessible starting point for longtime fans and newcomers alike. That's at least what I read in some IGN article. But listen, I'll be honest, the reason I need this, it is nostalgia, and I'm not afraid to admit that. As much as Dragon Ball FighterZ is so beloved, I'm a bigger fan of the 3D arena fighters when it comes to DBZ games. It just allows there to be a lot more sense of scale, as well as destructive environments and versatility in fighting style. The reason that this is kind of a cheat to be on my list and not in the honorable mentions is the fact that it doesn't have a definitive release date. On Steam, the game currently says coming soon, but Reddit threads have sparked a debate that Sparking Zero could release in July of 2024 because apparently Bandai Namco has a thing about releasing 7 months after announcement. Now granted, we got a teaser earlier in the year 2023, but we got the official full trailer for the game in December, so 7 months would put it at July. So here's hoping for a summer release for the next 3D arena fighter for Dragon Ball. The graphics look pristine. I'm hoping for incredibly destructive and transformative environments, and I like that we're seeing ranges from the latest in the Dragon Ball genre when it comes to the Super Saiyan Blue transformation, as well as the new adaptation of Broly. I understand that it could just be nostalgia bait and a lot of people might not like this game, but it works for me. And the last thing is I hope that they just give us the characters the same way that we did back in Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Just allow us to unlock stuff by playing the game. Don't be giving us 20 characters and then locking the next 100 behind a paywall DLC season pass. I understand that we're in different times that we were back then, but just please don't do that to us, Bandai Namco. Now for the honorable mentions, many of these don't have definitive release dates, or they're titles that I'm still on the fence on whether or not I'm gonna actually play them. First honorable mention is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and if you've seen my video on there's still huge red flags, you'd understand why. I'll leave a link in the description box below. But basically, the more I see of this game, the more I become skeptical. After they started releasing the dev diaries, after they already kind of showed us a lot through trailers and promotion, it's just feeling like they're trying to convince us, hey, look, it's not so bad. I really do love superhero content though. From everything I've seen in the trailers and the dev diaries, the movement system looks good, but I'm worried that the open world might be just empty and desolate. And I just don't know if I'm gonna be spending $70 to get a game that I just enjoy running around in, and that's really it. And I'm just trying to complete it to get my money's worth. It's one that I'll keep my eye on and maybe take reviews into consideration before deciding to make a purchase. Another one from the WB camp is actually Multiverses. Many of you might have thought that Multiverses completely was done for, but in actuality, the game was only in early beta access in the first place, and the devs took it down to address all the feedback that people had given. I thoroughly enjoyed Multiverses. It gave us a new fighter besides Smash Bros, but it had enough differentiating from it that it didn't feel like a carbon clone. The 2v2 team style play made for great teamwork and intense matches. A lot of people had comments on the floatiness, but I personally liked it. The only issue is that they kind of lost steam on rolling out content. The game is set to come back in early 2024 based on their website, and hopefully the time away has allowed them to make a significant amount of improvement. The game has a lot of potential, but as you guys know, live service games that are free to play and monetized based off microtransactions and a battle pass really struggle to break through in the industry these days. Star Wars Outlaws made the list as an upcoming action adventure game because it's set in the Star Wars universe, and I'd love to meet some Jedi Survivor. The game is said to take place during the time periods of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, being developed by Massive Entertainment and published by Ubisoft. A couple months after getting a showcase of some of the gameplay as well as cinematics, it was announced that the game would be delayed, and we just got confirmation that it's corrected to be arriving late 2024. Ubisoft and Disney have remained pretty tight-lipped on this, but a Disney Parks blog post quietly announced that release window just a few days ago. You'll be taking control of a new hero, Kay Vess, an outlaw who runs odd jobs for the criminal underworld. I think what's most exciting about this game is not only that it'll put us in the eyes of someone other than a Jedi, but also someone who teeters the line between good and bad and is more just concerned with getting their next dollar. The gameplay that they showcased mentioned that there'll be branching dialogue options that do have ramifications, so I think there's potential for an interesting story there. I'd love to see the choices that you make throughout the game have a lasting impact on the story as we progress. The only reason this landed in an honorable mention is that we don't have a definitive release date, and we only just recently got word that it would actually even be late 2024. One honorable mention that swooped in at the last second is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem spin-off video game. One of the smash hits of 2023 was the latest animated movie in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. A lot of people love the animation style, taking the turtles back to being younger teens, as well as giving a fresh perspective for audience members new and old. An article from IGN reported that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem will be coming from family-friendly video game specialist Outright Games, set in the world of the animated movie, and is due out in 2024 on console and PC. The game will take place months after the events of the movie and feature visuals inspired by the film's eye-catching painterly art style. We can expect to see various memorable characters from the Turtles universe pop up in the game, as well as a stylized take on New York City, which is under a new mutant threat. I was absolutely stoked to read this because I think this opens up doors for a potential co-op game, really cool open world RPG elements, and a really dope traversal system. I've said it before and I'll say it again, who doesn't like playing as a ninja? And getting to play as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would be fire. We just had that Shredder's Revenge remake or remaster that released a couple of years ago, so I'm all for riding this wave of releasing TMNT video games. This honorable mention almost doesn't count, but I wanted to include it because I've actually been playing the game a lot. It's been rumored that Fortnite will be introducing a new sports mode, and this is coming off the heels of them just recently releasing the Lego Fortnite, Rocket Racing, and Fortnite Festival. It was buzzing online in early December 2023 that 3 years ago, Fortnite had posted concepts of a basketball mini game as well as possibly teasing soccer. And with the release of all these essentially new games within the Fortnite hub, it's potential that in upcoming seasons for Chapter 5, they could drop an update like this. These are nothing but rumors and speculation, but if it were to happen in 2024, I'd actually be super excited and you guys would catch me playing this nonstop. I've never really been into 2K and I've really fallen out of love with FIFA much these days. So this would just allow me to have a different pastime other than the Battle Royale mode when it comes to playing Fortnite. This was a bit of a long video for me, so if you're still watching, consider hitting the like button because clearly you enjoyed the content. And to enjoy more, click the card on the left and you can check out the video I mentioned earlier about how there's still some huge red flags as far as I'm concerned when it comes to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Or click the card on the right and check out an installment in my series I plan on going full steam in, where we check out Marvel Spider-Man 2 at first glance. Appreciate you for watching, hope you subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in a future video. Peace out.